Alright guys, welcome back to another Slice of Life episode of Project Zero. And today is going to be a Monday series episode. Once again, this project used to be something that was dubbed the Honorable Project, which was a self-therapeutic multimedia project to solve the problems, challenges, obstacles in our lives, as well as a self-improvement process to reach the highest goals and ambitions that we set for ourselves. Since then, it has been grown and burgeoned into something completely new and different. That's more of a complex, not complex, but comprehensive, extensive manifestation of the self. And it's expressed through a variety of ideas, formats, series, analogies, and so on and so forth, including Spotify podcasts, YouTube videos, Twitch live streams, so on and so forth. And they're usually uploaded every 5 days a week, every single morning, 7 a.m. Minus Wednesdays and Saturdays, unless there's a special, which there usually is one at the end of the month. So almost every day. And the different types of series are listed it's every week of the day represents a different series, and they're listed as scheduled on my YouTube page playlists. So what we have for today then, it's going to be a digital kind of information research episode here, and we're going to continue chipping away at the tab topics. Sorry, still sick. Chipping away at the tab topics, and so we're going to start off a little differently this time because I believe the last topic we covered, I'm trying to think what it was. We covered so many things. It might have been LinkedIn. I was probably really pissed off that we had to cover something, but then there was something that we recorded afterwards. There's a different series. So yeah, the last production recording was for a different series altogether, but the last production recording that was based off of this series, which is the Friday digital information research administrative stuff, that topic covered employment, portfolios, LinkedIn, and that was a very boring, irritating thing. And we probably knocked down like 15 different tabs related to that. And today is quite a bit of a tangent. We're going to dive into the project itself as opposed to employment and careers. So we're talking podcasting, multimedia projects, side gigs. And in this case, we're going to be talking specifically about an app that I received invitation from probably about 2 years ago to join, and I didn't accept the invitation because I was in a crisis situation. I'm very, very unhappy about the fallout because it means that essentially it's people who sabotaged my life at the time managed to ruin a potentially good opportunity for growth of this project, among many other things. And but I found that today, honestly, it wasn't a major loss. It just felt like it was, because it's not every day that there was a startup at the time, and if you can't tell, it is showing up here on the top right, but it's called Wisdom, and go figure, right? Some talent acquisition team from Wisdom, and that sounds super fancy, and the way to describe it is just basically HR. They're just reaching out to people who have podcasts and saying, oh, we're interested, we're excited to say that we like what you have as a topic on your podcast, and we'd like to invite you to join our app if you send us your RSS feed and so on and so forth. Let's make this work, and then you can start growing on our platform. And so it's a startup called Wisdom App, Wisdom Mindset Media Group, which is now Social Audio Incorporated. And so let's just run through it. Let's get started. And it's been 2 years. I received correspondence about, not 2 years, maybe a little bit shy of that. And finally, we got to it. There was no direct correspondence from the team or staff themselves anymore. Now they have a submission form. You can just enter all the critical information that you need in order to join their app for free. And so there's no need to do that. It is kind of sad because they want to offer me some kind of top badge or some kind of, designation, almost like an early joining beta insignia, but it's a miss, so that's too bad. Even so, like I said, the miss isn't much. I didn't miss on much because it doesn't seem like to me there's a whole lot of value that comes from this very small community that seems to be filled with quite a bit of fluff, that hand wavy, self-improvement stuff about kind of wishy-washy mindsets, things that don't have very much tangible, concrete results, so to speak. It's all about mindsets and tips and tricks for the mind, and for redressing, I don't know, your confidence levels, or I don't know. It's just all very wishy-washy stuff. From what I've seen, coming from a lot of the trending people who create talks on this app. But still, I was really happy at the time, and I still want to be very grateful for being invited. So let's just get started, because I finally officially joined, and this is it. It's we've got 10 tabs here. This is Noon Vibe. Noon Vibe is, app.noonvibe.com apparently is an app you download from the Google Play Store that hosts the Wisdom Apps team platform of curated podcasts from a variety of clients, like myself in this case now. And of course, all these individuals who do podcasting can reach out, or not, who do podcasting, although you don't need to have a podcast to join, can reach out with each other and create a community. So that's the main highlight here. This app is focused on those with podcasts coming together to create a community. Now, so what we have here is you can see here it's using my old moniker on row underscore, and the tag is at on row underscore AHNRHO _slice of life /of slice. And I just put the quick bio as Medusa meditations too. Okay. Now what you can do is you can click ask me anything, and what ends up happening, posts, talks. Now obviously I didn't have any posts or talks yet, but I don't think I'm going to be doing it anyways. Is it'll open a new browser if I click on this. And what it'll do is it'll send me to a page where anyone can really come to this page of mine and ask me anything. So it's like AMA, like on Reddit, ask me anything. And it should be loading a new page right now if it wasn't lagging so badly. But yeah, and then over there it's almost it's a very short field entry. You basically just type in 140 characters maximum, so you can't really ask anything since the questions are so limited and short, but you can write up to 140 characters and ask a direct question to me or to anyone on this platform. That being said, it doesn't seem to be loading right now, and again, I'm not sure what you can really ask with just 140 characters. It's very short and benign. So here's the tab. Ask an anonymous question, get a voice reply. Ask an anonymous question, but be respectful. I don't know. Tell me more about your pet leopard. I don't know. See, it's very short. You can only, what is that, words? No, it's characters. It really is just 140 characters. Yeah, and then I can do that. And apparently, I think it was supposed to click enter down here or something. Send. And that's it. Noon 5, 2025. So that's how that works. Sent. 122 people have tapped the button below. Get your own questions. Get Nuva to hear. Ask question. Get questions of your own. So these are now people that are keeping track of. Request a button to ask questions to a variety of different people who are on this platform. And you can create your portfolio as well. So that's it. I'm going to get rid of these two tabs because let's be honest, we're never going to use this. Alright, so keeping in line with the whole wisdom theme, and by wisdom I don't mean the word itself, I just mean the app. So this is, as you can see here, Wisdom by Social Audio Incorporated. And before it was named Social Audio, it was named the Mindful Media Group. Maybe it probably became incorporated. That's what happened. So they got a better name, or it was bought out. Who knows? Anyways, so they have a submission form now, and what happens if you search up I was prompted to this because I was checking out. I will show you the emails that I received from the Wisdom team's acquisition team, and they reached out to me about a year, like a little more than a year and a half ago, and I didn't get to reply. I drafted an email response, but I didn't get back to respond to them. But by the time that I finally responded, which is basically like today, I realized that maybe like a week ago, sorry. And then I waited 7 days, and today again I realized there's no response. So then I figured, alright, let's do a little bit of digging, because I'm pretty sure they wouldn't respond after I dropped the ball for a year and a half. No thanks to a certain group of really nasty, shitty people. But overall, I found that on that email was basically some really nice things about what they have available nowadays. The instructions say that you can basically just join Wisdom app for free. You don't have to wait. I'm sorry if I'm feeling very lethargic and fatigued, but it is like past midnight and I'm still a little bit sick. And so what ends up happening is, turns out I followed instructions. I just Googled or Binged it, and sure enough, there was a page that showed up, or like the top 5 search results, and one of them was basically for Wisdom app, so for your, you can join. And so I clicked on it, and I obviously can't show you that form because it's the web page before this one. But it has all these entry fields for name, email address, and everything. And once you're done, you can join. After you submit it, and then you verify on email, which we're going to show you soon. So once you're done that, it leads you to this page which says, awesome, you have claimed your podcast on Wisdom. In the next week, we'll be adding additional 500 mentor coin to your account as a small thank you, and soon we'll also be adding your pod to your wisdom profile, which it's already been done. Now is the time to grow your following and community on wisdom, which will also help to grow your pod. Here's what you can do right now. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 steps you can do. 1, create a wisdom talk and grow your following and listeners while earning mentor coin. Every time you talk in proportion to the number of people listening. 2 is to join other wisdomers as a guest. It's a community. Best way to grow your audience is not only to create talks, but to join other hosts as a guest, even for a few minutes. And 3, be consistent. Try to take the wisdom challenge. Give a 15 to 30 minute talk once a day and watch your followers and guests grow. You're on the ground floor of the social audio revolution. Every new platform creates new opportunities, and success comes to those who show up. So we can't wait to bring your podcast to Wisdom's listeners. Thank you. So create wisdom talk, all our socials, parting wisdom, words of wisdom. We are drowning in information while starving for wisdom. E.O. Wilson. And again, the instructions down there: to be eligible, you must register for a free wisdom account and then fill out the form to claim your podcast. Okay, so that's what that's all about. The 500 mentor coins is a bonus that I wasn't aware of until I did this, and I'll leave this page open just to confirm to myself that we've done it. But let's hop over to the email that I was talking about, and this is going to be important. Alright, so the reason why it's going to be important is because, and I'm not going to bother hiding anything here, because let's be real about this. It's been expressed to me before on a couple of Reddit pages, which we're going to search up, that the team here, or some of them, are just template replies, and they don't always correspond. It's more like an email blast campaign. So in digital marketing, they just send a blast of emails, right, with just the name we placed of the podcast, as well as the recipient. But it's like a bot, really. It's like a bot. And so I don't feel any need to blot out any information. So we want the voice behind. So this is what I received. The email came in September 28th, 2023. That's roughly about a year and a half ago. So it's a top badge for Slice of Life in real life, 24/7, real lo-fi SMR project, Shira, CPTSD AI. So we want the voice behind Slice of Life, blah, 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 on our wisdom. On wisdom, I'd like to offer you the top badge, our highest badge, if you join us, which, again, that's just going to be a loss. It's too bad. Wisdom is a place to meet, share, and learn from fellow podcasters. We are venture-backed and growing fast. The top badge is Wisdom's version of Twitter's checkmark, blue checkmark. Each day, you'll get a new batch of voice intros of interesting podcasters to listen to and meet, and chosen to be relevant to you. You can also talk live to hundreds and even thousands. You'll grow your audience, meet amazing potential guests, and learn from other talented podcasters. Can I please send you a sign-up link that will also grant you a top badge? Sincerely, Megan Arndt. Again, I don't feel like blotting anything out, not even the names or the email, because at the end of the day, like I said, I sent a response. There was no response for a full week. So I'm assuming, based off of the responses, the discussion on Reddit forums, that this is more likely to be a chatbot that sent out a blast email campaign of templates, dynamic templates. So that's not particularly helpful for me to pull anything else, since there's nothing to hide anyways. So yeah, I don't have to worry about privacy in this case. Wisdom talent team, and that's that. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show the other email if I can. So here's the full email thread. Okay. And so the other email was named, hey, won't you join our podcast? Something along the lines, instead of the top badge. But it had a similar kind of offer there was an impetus to join again. So on Friday, August 18th, 2023, this would have been about roughly, about 1 month before the email on September. This was in August, so this is the first email. Megan A. wrote, "Hey, won't you please claim your podcast on Wisdom? I'm impressed by your pod and want your unique voice on Wisdom. The app is a great way to grow your listeners while engaging in conversations that matter. We're venture-backed, here to stay and doing great things no one else is. We know podcasting, we love the intimacy, and we want to make more podcasters or whatever. So transform your listeners into a community. Let them share, like, or comment on your talks. Answer them questions. Give them so-and-so with our creator-friendly analytics. Join us, it's free and we need you. Our goal is not to have every podcast on Wisdom. It's to have the wisest podcasters. Want you and your podcast slice of life." So then I responded. And I drafted this email response. And I didn't send it until just last week. I drafted this more than like 6 months ago, maybe even like a whole year. So hey Megan, going on a limb here, but thanks for the outreach and top badge promotion. I'm very honored to be invited by a passionate team under the moniker Wisdom, particularly for a pragmatist philosopher and life lesson enthusiast. Now, you can tell I had more enthusiasm at the time. Deeply sorry that I was able to respond in a timely fashion. I was in the middle of a profoundly difficult situation at the time, but I'm far more stable now. If by any chance you're still open to the opportunity, here's the Anchor Spotify RSS feed, RSS to my podcast. That aside, hope 2024 brings great things to your team, company, and loved ones. Okay. So that was my response. Cheers, Misha. And, no response. And that's reasonable because it's been a year and a half. So that's all I wanted to show on my email. Just going to close it now at this point because, if anything, one of the most, resource intensive draining tab topics is going to be Gmail. So let's just get rid of this tab. All right. So while we're at it, I kind of want to cover more Gmail because we have multiple tabs, surprise, surprise, of Gmail open. And once again, if there's any tab topic that consumes a lot of RAM and resource, it's Gmail. So another thing we did while we were on Gmail is we have multiple accounts open. And this is a different account. That would have been the one that I usually use for personal. This is probably my business email. Now, obviously, nothing's being shown here. You can't see my email addresses, so good. But since we talked about Wisdom app, why don't we also talk about what happened? One of the things that happened when I was having the crisis situation and trying to just go no contact with some really nasty people in community is that that prevented me from actually taking up the opportunity to join Wisdom sooner. Is this after trying to go no contact and just try to build a life for myself separately, went to the Malvern Employment Center. And that's like a government agency, right? Focused on social services, housing, mental health supports, counseling, guidance, crisis management, food banks, also financial aid, temporarily speaking, and just having someone to speak with, so a caseworker. And so what ended up happening is after I took advantage of those services and was able to benefit from them, I did leave a review. And so this is on my other email address, which is a different, this is a different tab, a different Gmail account on a separate tab. And turns out that about, I don't know, I didn't think that I would ever receive a response, because the caseworker who helped me she was always very, very, very stern and very to the point. It seemed almost, and it was very professional as a result, right? And so I wasn't expecting any sort of response. And that's good, because turns out for the full year or so, I never did get any response like that. What I did is I just, after she assisted and I received benefits and I was referred and directed to the right appropriate resources at the time, I left a grateful review on Google Maps. And, so I'll read the message here, but turns out that just as of this week, this review that I left more than a year ago, they responded just now. And so I said, quick message of thanks directed to DF, which out of respect for privacy, I'm using only initials. As part of the IAT team, which is like the intake team, DF maintained professionalism, organized and patient despite running, and so on and so forth. And I can see my review if I click on ahead. It says your review is helping in a big way, but basically you can see there's a thanks and a heart. One heart, one thanks. I'm not sure if that's because it's specifically DF, my past caseworker, who read this, or just someone from her team who saw this and decided to express. But it seems there's two people, one loved, one thanked, and I hope that maybe one of them was DF and she received a message. But let's take a look. So here we are. This is a map of the local area. One of these districts is a very small one called Malvern, part of a greater one in the Scarborough area, Scarborough-Markham area. And sorry, not Markham, just Scarborough. So here's the review, and turns out that I'm what they call a level 3 guide on Google Maps. So quick message of thanks. So this is 2 years ago. It says 4-star rating. Quick message of thanks directed to DF, which out of respect for privacy, I'm using initials. As part of the IAT team, DF maintained professionalism, organized and patient despite running into many technical issues relating to processing outside of her control. She clarified matters and stayed calm, admirably where I eventually failed. Ultimately, she was successful, and I did. I got frustrated, and she could tell, and she wasn't happy about that, obviously. It's not her fault. Ultimately, she was successful in providing me financial assistance, where I would have given up myself, and did on more than one occasion. Yeah, just being totally honest there, right? I didn't have that patience after just receiving so much paper pushing administrative nonsense, but it was all important and necessary. But for example, things happened during the mail and for whatever reason they never received it. And I don't even know what to tell you. When you send a package that you work so hard on filling the entire form, just to have it not be received, and you wonder where the hell it went, right? Was it lost in transit? Was it stolen? Was it just dropped off at the wrong address? So I don't envy your job. Yeah, we had conversations about this with the caseworker and we laughed it off together. I don't envy your job. I've experienced other caseworkers and their other front desk workers becoming cold and dismissive, understandably, in this role. So the 1-star deduction is for the general system and communication issues. but I want to note that this is largely outside of DF's control, once again. So that's it. Let me see. Yeah. Hope this message finds the right person. Wish you and your team a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. That's that. Now, that being said, while I was here on my portfolio on Google Maps, I did skim through my old reviews aside from Malvern. And I noticed, this is when I bought the ring, for example. You can see the enchanted rings here. One for the Wings of Freedom, as I dub it, and the other one for the, anonymous rose. And they represent, certain core themes to our union. They're very important, and it shows the views for each. Now, I left a comedic review, and so as a result, it probably got taken down, which is why these photographs only have like 20 views each. But that's that. But that wasn't the same for this one. This is called Rainbow Food, like a Chinese restaurant stall. And this one over here, I did take photographs, and each one received about 3,000 something views at this point so far. So that's kind of interesting because it's pretty dead. It's a pretty quiet little plaza hidden behind some old buildings. And so to say that to this point it's received between these two photographs roughly 7,000 views says something about how busy that plaza actually is on an annual basis. So price 10 to 20 bucks. Service. So there you go. It's in Scarborough. Simple northern Chinese dishes for a fair price in a small but honey miniature food court. Add the mushroom onion pork stir fry over rice and soya green sauce onion deep fried tofu. Shared with a good friend. Great tasting, filling for both of us combined. Taking orders was energetic, friendly, and laid back. Accommodated to Buddy's requests. Regard containers. Forgot to return one, a humble mistake. Courteous enough. Generally speaking, right, service manners are not a top priority in traditional Chinese small family member stores. So it's nice to have a difference here. Atmosphere can be a bit noisy and the conversation sometimes obnoxious. That's an understatement, very obnoxious. But that generally doesn't say much about the eatery or its staff, because plenty of chairs and tables, although are a bit dirty. There's a washroom downstairs, gross and with mold, no soap, drawer doesn't work. But those are side matters, it's not really about the restaurant there. So I think we're gonna close this now and highlight the fact that I have a separate account, obviously, right? I said that there's a personal account, and that one actually has a even better review, or I should say better photograph. And that better review was the original review that was not comedic in nature. I put El Recetas in the other one. But this is when I first bought, like I said, the silver wings and black rose to represent eternal, everlasting beauty of the anonymous and solitary, as well as the freedom from chains of burden. So that represent the joint union and everlasting commitment and dedication to one another, companionship for all eternity. Further beyond, till death do us part, but even further beyond. So came to exchange 2 black diamond sterling. Came to exchange 2 black diamond sterling silver ring sizes within policy limits, and M was exceptionally great. a lovely Filipino lady. We shared jokes, right, about our partners at the same time. A few admin system issues were quickly resolved on profile. Pro tip: bring lifetime warranty codes with you. The rep was warm, and so on and so forth. I don't know if I want to read the whole thing, but it's not too long. Was warm, funny, efficient, professional, straight to the point. Tons of wares, a variety of jewelry. Thankfully, we chose online beforehand. Atmosphere well lit, bright as can be expected. Location tad hidden, although you can find by directory touch panels. Much appreciated. 9 out of 10, come see for yourself. May follow up with a full comedic review. Salamat. Which is a thank you in Tagalog. So we have here these two photographs. And once again, they have, because of how aesthetically pleasing they are, they garnered quite a bit of views. And yeah, I would say I bring it there. You know, for some reason it's not showing right now, but yeah, 20,000 views. Not bad. I mean, yeah, the Rose received 11,000 views just on its own. That's more than the entire portfolio on the other. So just interesting stats. Yep. And then the Wings received 9,000. So something else altogether. Okay, so let's wrap that one up. Alright, so before we wrap up all the Google stuff related to wisdom and unrelated tangents, right, on those reviews, this is the last one. It's on running on a storage. So this is a tab that pops up advertising Google's, you know, sick deals. For $269 a month, you can get, you know, a full, I don't know, 100 gigabytes of worth of space. Yeah, that's what it is. And they cut it down to you for 2 months, up to like just 70 cents. This isn't Canadian, of course, currency. But yeah, you can tell I don't usually use my storage very often. I just filled it up many years ago, more than 5 years ago. 98% of storage used, 14.8 gigabytes, 15 out of 15. Yeah, so make room for photos, files, and more by cleaning up space, or you can keep more files and photos by getting an extra 100 gigabytes of storage for a couple bucks, plus a promo. See offer. So cleanup suggestions, spam emails, large files. Well, everything that's up there I intend on keeping because it's used as a backup. So we're gonna leave this tab open, and that's because I like to click the 3 dots up here, and then you can see account, search, maps, YouTube, play, drive, photos, calendar. So from here I get to go to Gmail without having to take up too much RAM and space in the process. So let's wrap up wisdom now, because I really don't want to leave wisdom hanging.